Tesla stock has a new old problem. Shanghai is testing for COVID again. Tesla stock has been battered by China's hardline COVID-19 policies, and they might not be over just yet. Yes, investors are sick of COVID-19, but it is still a factor for markets, especially for the auto industry. And new coronavirus testing in Shanghai might create more production problems for Tesla. Wednesday, Bloomberg reported that Shanghai officials were conducting mass testing for COVID-19 due to cases recently detected. On July 3rd and 4th, our city continuously reported multiple cases of local positive infections, reads part of a statement included in the report translated with Google from the Office of the Municipal Leading Group for the Prevention and Control of the New Coronary Pneumonia Epidemic. What the is that? Wow. Lockdowns in Shanghai disrupted production at Tesla, as well as the entire Chinese auto industry earlier in the year. Tesla's Shanghai plant, its most productive one, produced roughly 44,000 vehicles during April and May, the most acute phase of the COVID lockdowns, which is roughly 90,000 short of potential production at the factory. Tesla didn't immediately respond to a request for comment about the new testing. Recently, things were going much better in Shanghai. Tesla said in its second quarter delivery release that June was the company's best month of production in its history, which implies the Shanghai plant was operating at close to full capacity. Any additional lockdowns would mean more disruption for production and force Wall Street to cut its forecast for Tesla's deliveries and earnings for the second half of the year. That isn't what investors want to hear. Not at all. For the second quarter of 2022, delivery estimates started out at about 350,000 units, but Tesla ended up delivering 254,695 cars. Earnings per share were expected to come in at about $2.50, but earnings per share for the second quarter is now expected to be closer to $1.80. For the third quarter, Wall Street expects a bounce back with about 378,000 deliveries, a quarterly record, and more than $3 in per share earning. Those numbers will fall if Shanghai production gets crimped again. Agreed with that wholeheartedly. Tesla is very, very immune to a lot of things that typically affect other manufacturers. One thing that will affect them is if China constantly continues to put these dictatorial, just fascist type implementation measures, or like these types of measures. I don't know what to say. I'm completely just blown away by the fact that we are still, not we, but they are still deal with potential lockdowns. At this point in time, I think we've all moved past that. And for this to be the excuse or whatever, that's sketchy. It's tough to say how much the Shanghai shutdowns affected Tesla stock in the quarter. The stock fell 38% from the start of April through the end of June, but rising inflation and interest rates hit all car makers' stock. General Motors and Ford shares dropped 27 and 34% respectively in the second quarter. The broader market fell hard as well, with a loss of 22% in the NASDAQ composite. Tesla investors also had to deal with CEO Elon Musk's potential purchase of Twitter. The risk that Musk could be distracted as he focuses on the social media platform has been an overhang for Tesla investors since he disclosed his Twitter stake early in the second quarter. Now, I read this all the time. I have absolutely no idea why they mention this. What does Elon's deal with buying Twitter have to do with running Tesla? I mean, it's absolutely nonsensical. The fact that he runs SpaceX, which is a rocket company. He's trying to get to Mars. He's running the Boring Company. He also has Neuralink. But now Twitter is what makes it so that this man is too busy. Twitter's the thing that broke the camel's back. Give me a break. Okay, so my thoughts on this. I think this is absolutely batshit crazy. The fact that we're still dealing with shutdowns in July of 2022. Mind you, this is called 19. It originated 3 years ago. This shit has been ongoing in parts of China for almost 3 years. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, China be waiting. You know what I'm saying? They have some long ass regimes. They don't give a shit about 3 years. But for us Americans, we looking at like, yo, we done already had a few summers gone by. You know what I'm saying? We done already had a couple winters gone by. This has gone on long enough. But this goes to show even companies such as Tesla, where it would appear as though they could do no wrong, in what they're attempting to do in terms of creating electric vehicles, save the planet, putting them in China, which is trying to help, with their EV revolution, yada, 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 the whole nine. It would seem as though nobody would have anything against them. But that's not this. What this is, in my opinion, now this is just an opinion. This is kind of like a reaction in terms of like the Cold War that's been ensuing, right? The trade war that's been ensuing between the United States and China for quite some time. Russia, obviously, everything that's going on out there. There's a lot of animosity right now between countries, between governments of power, and I think this could be that. Could be. I'm not saying it is. This could spell very bad news for Tesla in the short term. Long term, I don't know, but short term, this could be not good. The reason why it could not be good is China is Tesla's main, right at the moment, Tesla's main factory in terms of annual output. That's their export hub. They ship cars from China out to places in Europe, other parts of Asia, so on. China is an extremely important strategic piece to Tesla's puzzle. And if that piece has been immobilized or is, unreliable in its ability to produce at a consistent rate, this is where Tesla has to start to consider other options, which I'm sure, they're starting to think about that. My question has always been, what happens if Tesla were to say, you know what, let's back out of China, build another factory, let's pivot. We got the funds to do so. Let's build a factory in Norway. I don't know. Norway loves our cars. Let's build a factory out in Norway. And they move out of China. That's now China's property, the Communist Party of China's property. And so now we could potentially be seeing Tesla's property being stolen from them in a way. This is something that I've always thought about since they announced that they would be building their factory in China. I've always wondered, the fact that there's such animosity between the two countries' governments, is there a potential that this could one day be the case? And, we're starting to see it's being framed as a response to measures, but come on, you know what I mean? I know they got a lot of people out there, but this is crazy. And it's just Shanghai. So other auto manufacturers, like we mentioned in a recent video, other auto manufacturers in China have a lot of their manufacturing facilities outside of Shanghai. To kind of wrap this point up is to say that this could potentially be something that ultimately hurts Tesla, both in the short term, maybe medium term. I would not suspect long term, but obviously there's always the potential for it. So this is something to keep an eye on as it develops. I'll continue to kind of bring it back up. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget, tap the bell to be notified of all the latest content as soon as it drops. I'm your boy, Willie G. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.